Welcome back to After Battle. I'm your host as always, Daniel Levi, and joining me now is the man coming off the 11-second head kick knockout, Jahmar Whitehead. Jahmar, welcome back to After Battle.
Thank you, man. Good to be back.
Oh man, it's great to have you back. So, I mean, dude, what a way to make your MMA debut. I mean, look, if you would have went to a split decision, I would have been proud of you. If you would have won by DQ, I'd be proud. You won via 11-second head kick KO. How does that feel, man?
Yeah, and it feels almost unreal, honestly. You know, you dream about a moment like this since I was like 12 years old, you know? So that's years just for 11 seconds, you know? It's kind of unbelievable.
Man, and I mean, we got to preface this by saying that this isn't just another opponent. I know you respect anyone that steps inside the cage. This was a grudge match. I mean, you guys had been going back and forth from the moment the fight got signed, and the kinds of things you guys were saying to each other. And I'm not just talking about social media. At the weigh-ins, you give him a box of Lucky Charms. You know, at the venue, the day of the fight. Look, I called these fights. I got there early. The day of the fight, you guys are talking shit to each other. You're telling him that you're going to knock him out. You know, in the fighters' meeting, he's asking the rule on slams. The animosity and the mind games was real. And you went out there and performed with flying colors. Did that have an effect on you at all?
So before you go ahead and before I answer that question, I just want to say, Jack May, my buddy Jack May from Iron Clutch Fitness, he told everybody that I was going to knock him out in the first round with a head kick. You know, he said it, I did it. That's it. I promised him I would do it too, so I'm a man of my word. Knocked him out 11 seconds, just like that. So did that have any pressure on me? Is that what you said?
Well, no, talk to me about the grudge match, man, because, I mean, this is the first time that I've ever seen. You know, I know you're a competitive guy. I know you like to talk a little shit and have a little fun, but this was a different level of animosity between you two.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. You know, I was tired of everybody saying, you know, I fight kids, I have no knockout power. You know, I'm an easy fight. You know, I'm too big for my head. Listen, I know for 100% that I train harder than any other guy at 135, 125, even 145. And I say that for pro and amateur. I live in the gym pretty much. You know, I'm there all day, every day training. If I'm not training, I'm training other people, you know. So I feel a little disrespected when people say I have no knockout power, you know. This guy said that. He said he has an iron chin. He said I have no chin. I wanted him to test it, but I tested his first. That's it. Knocked him out quick.
Straight up, man. So talk me through the actual fight itself, Jahmar, because look, it lasted 11 seconds. What I saw was, you know, he tried to shoot, he tried a spinning back fist, you snapped down, you almost took his back, you guys separated, and then you threw a head kick. That was from my perspective. Now I want to know from the man that was inside the NFC cage what actually went down there.
Well, I'll let you know, man. I knew I won the fight at the weigh-ins. As soon as I saw him getting all loud and him saying he wanted to take it outside, I knew I was already in his head. And that's, you know, I'd say most of this game is mental. I'd say it's 75% mental, 25% physical, you know. I knew I got in his head, like I said. Before we were, like when we were warming up, he's trying to like mean mug me, walking up and down, you know, holding the box of Lucky Charms I gave him yesterday. So, you know, I knew as soon as I saw he didn't need him, I was like, man, his luck really did run out. So we went in there. He bull rushed me pretty much. And shout out to Nate Williams. He had me drilling this right before I stepped in the cage. He said he was going to rush me. So we practiced a push kick right down the middle. Sure enough, it worked perfectly. As soon as I hit him with that push kick, he dropped straight to the floor. He underestimated my power, clearly, you know, and my accuracy. I knew everything I hit him with, if you pay attention, right where I wanted it to go. You know, I even need him in there. You can't really tell too well, but I need him in the fight as he's going in for the first takedown that I easily sprawled on, you know. I knew, you know, even though he's 54-0, I knew he wasn't going to be able to take me down, you know. A lot of people doubt me. There's one person that doesn't doubt me, and that's me, you know. I proved that, so I'm ready for the next fight. Unscathed, no injuries, clearly. Didn't even get hit. Let's keep it going.
And Jahmar, real quick, because in case people didn't catch what you just said, This kid that you fought was 54-0 as a wrestler. One does not simply go 54-0 as a wrestler. You know, going into the fight, I know you're confident in your abilities, but in the back of your mind, were you at all like, man, what if this guy takes me down?
It wasn't what if he takes me down. It was more so if he has the opportunity to, if I give him the opportunity to take me down, what are going to be my escapes to get up? What am I going to use to get up? What am I going to use to submit him? You know? But in the back of my head, I already knew, like I said, there was no way he was taking me down. That's one thing I will say, I have a lot of confidence in myself. And a confident Jahmar is an unbeatable Jahmar, in my opinion. And I think I proved that on FC 96. So.
Now, Jahmar, we mentioned the psychological warfare, and I want to emphasize on that a little bit, man, because look, because like I mentioned, this was the fight that I had the privilege and the opportunity to call. And so I get there early, right? And look, man, you guys are talking shit, you know, at the venue. And, you know, before the national anthem, he stands right in front of you. And then this one was the one that really, you know, made me be like, oh, man, the heat's real. During the fighters meeting, you know, oftentimes you get the rules and, you know, no one ever really asks a question because you guys all know what you're there for. You guys all know the rules. You know what you signed up for. He had the audacity to raise his hand and ask a question about the slams. And in my opinion, I don't think he asked that because he wanted to know. I think he asked that because he wanted to get into your head. While that was going on, you know, what were you thinking, man?
Well, like I said originally, I knew his luck ran out. So I wasn't too worried about it. I knew he wouldn't get his hands on me, which is something else that I predicted. I've said multiple times. Another thing I'm correct on. You know, one of the many that I've predicted on this. Like I said, he wasn't going to take me down. If anything, I would just shove his head straight into the mat. You know, I honestly felt no threat in that fight. I felt like I was better in every single aspect. Don't get me wrong, though. You know, I do respect him a lot. You know, 54-0, like you said, is not easy to come across. 54-0 in wrestling, he obviously has some skill if he's 54-0, you know? A lot of skill. Just not my skill, you know? I'm a different breed. And I'm just going to keep proving that until people stop doubting me, you know? Pretty simple.
Jahmar, earlier in the interview, you mentioned how most of the fight game really is mental. Now, you prove that, not just, you know, overcoming the war of words, but before your fight, your brother had a bout, and it unfortunately did not go his way. You know, he suffered a loss, and then you're up right after him, man. How were you able to, you know, kind of put that on the back burner and just focus on yourself?
Honestly, if anything, it was just more motivation for me, you know? There was no way I was going to have two Whitehead brothers losing on one night. Absolutely not, you know? It really does suck seeing my brother lose, but you know what? Like I said, it did motivate me. It fueled my fire a little bit, you know? It fueled my flame. I just felt the way I had to go into the fight was, this is the guy that just knocked out my brother, you know? That's the way I had to think. If I thought that way, I knew there was no way I was going to let this guy go 0-2, you know? Although it wasn't the same person, obviously. That's the mentality I had to have. And in this game, man, it's the hurt business, you know? Like many people say, it's the hurt business. It's either kill or be killed, you know? So, you know, at this point, you know, if my brother lost, you know, I can't really think about it too much, you know, because, I mean, I got to focus on my fight, you know? My fight's important, too. It sucks that it happened, but I know for a fact he's my brother. Like, you know, he's going to be back, guaranteed, 100%.
Oh, yeah. Not only is he going to be back, but a lot of people aren't talking about the fact that Damian's the kind of badass. He took this fight up a weight class. You know, people say, oh, it's a catch weight, this and that. Look, if it's above 136 pounds, that's a featherweight fight, Jahmar.
Yep. Well, the fight was actually at 140 plus 2. So he fought a featherweight. A lot of people don't know, but my brother can actually drop down to flyweight, 125 pounds. That's a weight class that I think he should be fighting. This guy was a featherweight, 145, and they met at 140 plus 2, obviously, for Georgia's rules. So he basically fought a featherweight fight as a flyweight. A lot of people don't, I'm sure a lot of people are overlooking that. I think that makes him look even more like more of a, like, he's not scared of anybody, clearly, you know?
Oh yeah. No, we know what kind of badass Damian is. Now look, before the fight, like I saw you at the venue, and you told me, man, I'm kind of nervous about the fact that I'm not nervous. I feel so calm, and now I want to know how that translated. Obviously it translated into an 11-second knockout, but what I'm trying to say here, Jahmar, is, during the walkout, during your warm-up, I mean, did you start to eventually feel the nerves?
I'll give you the entire rundown. When I was in my corner room, I was warming up with my boy Walter, Walter McCord from X3. Shout out to him. He helped me get ready for this fight as well. Anyway, I'm warming up with him, and I'm still not feeling nervous. Usually I get some butterflies or something. Nothing's happening at all. I'm just, like I said, it's making me nervous that I'm not nervous. It's weird. I've never felt that feeling before. I walk out of my room that I was in, and to see my brother fight. And I look to my left real quick. My uncle tells me, "Man, look to your left real quick." I look to my left, and my opponent's just trying to mean mug me. That didn't make me nervous at all. I didn't get nervous until they were like, "Hey, you're up." So I'm going down there. I'm walking down the stairs, and then the butterflies start to hit me a little bit. And it wasn't even my opponent. I'm like, obviously, I'm going to knock my opponent out. That's all I'm telling myself, So I'm telling myself, like I said, I'm going to knock him out easy. It's easy money. It's an easy fight. But how well am I going to look out there, I have a lot of eyes on me. The CFFC champion, or I'm sorry, the president of that organization, he was there. Bigfoot was there. Douglas Lima, Diego Lima, I believe, was there. All these big name fighters. I had to perform, So I was a little nervous just for the performance. As soon as I heard my song playing and the beat dropped, man, that venue belonged to me, That was my time. The cage belonged to me. Everything was for me, it felt like,
It showed, Jahmar. That's all I got to say. Now, look, man, you're a kid that, look, I've known you since you were 13 years old. I've been interviewing you on Half the Battle since you were 15 years old. Now you're 18. You just made, your amateur MMA debut. Look, you went 7-1 as a junior amateur. And let's not even talk about all the Taekwondo tournaments, the jiu-jitsu, the wrestling, all that experience. So I got to know, man, what's next for Jahmar Whitehead?
All right. So like I said, I got rid of the leprechaun quick, like I said I was going to do. First round head kick. I'm waiting on Jack May to pick up my next prediction, and I'm going to do that as well. So I'm looking at Callison de Jesus, I want that fight, I know I can get another highlight reel knockout on that one. June Kim, that's no-brainer. That's going to be an easy fight. Knockout first round. Josh Mayer, NFC 100, I'm coming for you, You better be training hard. I hope he hears this interview too. You better be training hard, man. I'm coming for you. I can guarantee second round knockout on you. So expect a lot more finishes from me. The headgear's finally off. The shin guards are going to be coming off soon. It's just going to make him more dangerous, Jahmar. This is only the beginning, Daniel. Guaranteed.
Oh, well, I already know that, Jahmar.
You guys haven't. I can promise you haven't seen nothing yet. Clearly, only 11 seconds. So.
Hey, Jahmar,
in those 11 seconds.
Look, I know you got this beef with Josh Mayer. Look, this is a kid that went out there. He fought your brother Damian, and Damian was arguably up 2-0. It came down to the third round. It was his MMA debut. We all know the deal with the adrenaline dump. Josh Mayer caught him. Props to Josh. He caught him with an armbar. I know that this is a fight you want. Talk to me about not just the matchup itself, but what it means to you to get a victory over a guy like Josh Mayer at NFC 100.
Well, first off, this guy has zero muscle definition. I'll throw him around just like my brother throw him around. He got extremely lucky against my brother. I mean, first off, if you guys don't call that a sucker punch that he hit him with in the third round, then I don't know what is. He touched his glove and immediately punched him. It's time to get that payback for my brother. I know my brother can't beat him. I mean, he was showing that for the whole fight. He just got caught because he wanted to throw a little sucker punch. You're not going to land that on me, buddy. Guaranteed, you try to throw a sucker punch on me, I'm going to slap you so hard, He won't throw another strike the entire fight, guaranteed. I'll beat him down, Daniel, like you've never seen in the NFC cage before. So whenever he wants to accept that fight, let's get it. I'm ready.
Look, Jahmar, we spoke before Robert Whitaker fought Jacare, and you told me Robert Whitaker is not only going to win this fight, you said he's going to go out there and knock him out. And you were right, but now he's taking on the incredibly dangerous Yoel Romero. In my personal opinion, Jahmar, this is the best fight of 2017. Who do you give the edge to, man?
Daniel, everything I say comes to a reality. I said Robert was going to knock out Jacare. What happened? He knocked him out. I said I was going to knock out my opponent with a head kick in the first round. What happened? I knocked him out in the first round with a head kick. Robert Whitaker versus Yoel. Let's see. I can't give you a method, but I can tell you who's going to win. Robert Whitaker is going to take it again, and this is why. Yoel is going to gas out eventually. I don't know which round it's going to be, but he's going to go for the kill. Robert's going to stay composed, and Yoel is going to gas out. Robert's going to take advantage of that. Watch my words. Mark my words. Guaranteed. This is what happens. Robert Whitaker is going to be the new champion.
One more. I need one more, Jahmar. Mystic Whitehead, right? All right, look.
Yeah, that's right.
John Jones is taking on Daniel Cormier. Now, is this simply a case where Jones has DC's number, or do you think that DC can make the proper adjustments, go out there, and hand John Jones his first ever legitimate defeat?
There are no adjustments that Daniel Cormier can make that will make him beat John Jones. John Jones is just the superior athlete, the superior striker, and no, not the superior wrestler, but this is an MMA fight, you know? He is definitely the superior MMA wrestler, you know what I mean? And it's going to show when they fight again. You know, Daniel Cormier is not going to be able to take him down, and John Jones is just going to outstrike him, kind of like what happened in my fight, you know? It's just going to be another repeat.
Well, look, Jahmar, man, you're only 18 years old. The sky's the limit. Before I let you go, I need another prediction. When does Jahmar Whitehead make his UFC debut?
UFC debut. See, I'm 18 now. Give me by the time I'm 22. 22. I'll be in the UFC by the time I'm 22. But listen to what I'm saying. By the time. So if I'm in the UFC by the time I'm 20, hey, that's just how it's going to have to go.
Yes, sir. Well, you heard it here first, folks. Well, Jahmar, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me right here, right now on Half the Battle. It's always a pleasure, my man. Let the audience know where they can follow you on social media, and anything else you want to tell the fans, go ahead.
All right, guys. I'm going for another fight against Calliston, waiting for him to accept it, August 4th. Stay tuned. If he doesn't accept the fight, which he probably won't, they'll find me somebody else. So August 4th, center stage, be there. You guys can find me on social media, Twitter and Instagram, ASVP 2_ FUEGO. Daniel, thank you for having me, man. It's great to be on the show again, third time. So let's keep it going.
Yes, sir. We're going to have you back on soon as always, and hopefully I see you before that, my man.
Sounds good, man. See you soon.
All right, brother. Take care, man.
Yes, sir. You too.